And away we go. Let's see, that coming through? That's coming through. That's doing what I want it to do. Okay, note to self. This thing is very wobbly. Don't touch it. I am now going to proceed to touch it every 2 seconds. I can already feel that. Hello, hi! Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Audio is coming in cool and clean and relaxed. There we go. I saw a Cult of the Lamb cosplay the other day. I'm assuming that was just out and about in the real world. I'm assuming that's just how people are choosing to dress in the year 2024. No, I assume that was at a convention or somewhere that it was morally appropriate to dress as such. I'd say that Cult of the Lamb cosplays are fairly common things to witness, but most of my convention-going experience is from my home country of Australia, so I guess I'm a little bit biased. I come from the city where that game was made. So that means we all love it there, because we love supporting our local game dev industry. I mean, I do, at least. I don't know about the rest of the world. I think when it comes to games, people don't really give a shit about their local industries, quote-unquote. If it's good, they'll play it, and if it's not, they won't. I think that tends to be how people goes. Baby at a first ever convention? Yo! Congrats! Congratulations, YouTube user Stygian. Everyone remembers their first big convention. I mean, that's a lie. I don't think I remember mine. No, wait, I think I do. I think my first ever convention was... I remember it was a Supernova, which is a relatively small stakes family convention that happens back in my home country of Australia. It's just your generic, you know, like pop culture affair. Although we don't get any big celebrities at Australian conventions. Well, I guess it all depends. Sometimes we get big celebrities and then they cancel last minute because they just don't want to go. Either that or the big conventions like announce that they have big guests and then go like, oh no, they couldn't make it at the last minute, oh no. Here's a local TV host that nobody's cared about in 30 years as a replacement. I want to get a power cosplay for next time? Hell yes! I don't understand the cultural significance of that, but I assume it's only a good thing. I don't know what television programs are hip or cool anymore. Do people still watch anime? I don't know. Did they ever? I couldn't tell. Alright, okay. I should probably post it online, shouldn't I? That'd be a smart thing to do. Painting some minis. Share that little post. Alright. Either way, I'm just chilling. I thought today I would, I realized I've got a bunch of, like, tiny grot models that have just been lying around the place. And I figured I could just paint some of those for a bit. You know, I've got, like, the Distraction Grot here from the Commandos set. And then I've also just got a bunch of grot models that I really should get to. Because, you know, I bought the box ages ago, but I've been neglecting them. I think I'm just deeply ashamed because I kind of fucked up the base coating, and so now the base coat is really thick. So I'm gonna lose a bit of the model's detail and fidelity, but you know what? I shouldn't hold that I shouldn't hold that against them. That was my choice. I did that. I messed up. I goof-a-rude. And now I have to sit with the consequences of that. Got myself a Necron Psychromancer today, so overall life is pretty alright. Hell yes! It's amazing how much one's mental health can be completely rejuvenated by the acquisition of a small toy. That's what I've learned, at least. It has been very detrimental to my wallet and personal finances, but you know what? I don't have a recourse there. That's... Please help. Send help. No. I've been very inspired to get through my backlog of, what do they call it? The pile of shame? The grey pile? The grey goo? The mass? I've been very inspired to get through my pile of shame because, now that I actually have enough units to play a full game of Warhammer 400,000, I'm very much in the mindset of like, yeah, now I can do this, I can get this unit because it does this thing, and I can do this, and I can do that, and blah. So now I'm like, okay, if I paint all these things that have been sitting on my shelf for God knows how long, I can actually use them in-game. Like this box of Gretching that's going to take me hours to paint, and then only be worth 60 points on the tabletop. But you know what? I'm doing it anyway. I couldn't be trusted with an income. I would spend it all on little plastic guys. I mean... That's just what being an adult is like. Once you have, like, a steady stream of income, and no one to look over your life choices, it really is just a case of like, oh, I can just buy things. Anything that I want, even. Wog indeed. YouTube using Nepalese Jesus. So true, bestie. Maybe I'll feel all I'm doing is I'm telling myself that once I slap down my initial layer of green, I'm gonna be a lot more inspired to paint these guys. They've just been sitting on my shelf as like a weird gray and black mass. And I'm just like, oh, that's just so much effort. I don't want to do that. But I'm hoping that once I put on the first couple of coats and the first couple of layers of Death Guard green, then the rest of it will just fall into place. At least that's what I hope. I've said to myself that whatever models I get over Christmas, I actually have to paint them. There's a non-zero chance that I actually do that, though. I mean, yeah. Honestly, for me, I've been eyeing off, there was one of the... My local game store still has one of the old Orcs Battle Forces. Like, I think it was the big Christmas one last year. It was the Death Killer Warband. And I've kind of been eyeing it off. But I'm in two minds about it. Because the Death Killer Warband box, it has a lot of units that I already have. Like, it's got a bunch of boys. It's got the Gretchen and the Runt Herd, which I'm honestly, like, trying to paint now. Because if I get this box, I'm going to have more to get through. And I'm like, I need to convince myself that it's okay to paint them. It's got the Dakajet, which is still, like, 50% finished on my shelf. But since, you know, the Orcs are a Horde army, so it's like, okay, even if I do have a bunch of, like, similar or identical units, like, that's kind of what you need. Like, if you're not rocking up to the tabletop with at least 50 boys, what are you doing? You noob. You absolute Gretchen. I'm gonna get a World Eater's army started? Hell yes! I still have my one box of Legionnaires, which has been sitting on my shelf for God knows how long. I've built them, and I just need to paint them. You see, the Chaos Space Marines have been they've eluded me this long because, there's just so many tiny little details that I'm like, do I really have to paint all of that? Do I really have to paint all of that? All the trimming, all the gold. Although, we all basically know that, the Emperor's children are gonna get their own army set soon. Like, that's not a spoiler. Like, we're aware that's gonna happen. And I told myself I wanted to paint Emperor's children. I really liked, the Fulgrim novel of the Horus Heresy. And so I was like, these guys really speak to me. I want to paint Emperor's children, even if they don't have their own army or their own units. I want to paint some hot pink Space Marines. Or Chaos Space Marines, rather. That's what I want to do, and by golly gosh, I'm gonna do it. But now, I've continued to read the Horus Heresy books, and now I'm like halfway through... the Thousand Suns novel. Which I think is literally the one called A Thousand Suns. And now I'm like, shit, I could totally paint fucking Thousand Suns. Which I feel like is just detrimental, because I'm like, listen, I'm gonna have this reaction every time I sit down to paint, and I need to be very honest with myself about that. Like, anytime I read a book, of like the Horus Heresy or Warhammer or something, I'm gonna think to myself, yo, this is cool, I should spend $500 on plastic figurines of this thing that I read. But the Thousand Suns book has been really interesting to me so far, because it's you know, most of the Horus Heresy books is just like one guy, you know, going like, here is my story of how I made the Bone Cruncher 9000. But the Thousand Suns are actually way more interesting than I first gave them credit for. Like, basically the gist that I'm getting so far from the book is that, like, they're just sort of like, hey, this shit's actually kind of wild, isn't it? It's like, hey, maybe everything that we're doing isn't a good thing, actually. Oh, no, I've fallen to chaos. Never mind. It's just such a shame that everybody in the 41st millennium who had, like, good intentions and the right idea, ended up, like, partnering with, like, Kill Crush the Annihilator from the Denizen of the Warp. They have teased what the new Emperor's Children models are going to look like, and it's hype. Oh, yeah, like... Every time they Warhammer posts on their Instagram stories, like, hey, here's a 3D model of, like, a cool helmet. I'm like, that's an EC, baby! Which are my initials. Emperor's Children. It's all coming together. It's all coming together. But yeah, like, I at least have the awareness and understanding that Chaos Space Marines are really difficult to paint. And so... I think that's gonna stop me spending, like, $1,000 billion million. Because it's like, ooh, new toys to paint and play with! Oh, new... 1,000 units with 1,000 bits of trimming that I need to paint. No, thank you. I'm just gonna continue slapping down green on my orcs and see where that gets me. No spank you. Thousand Suns, more like 1,000 nerds. I mean, that's true. That is exactly what they're like, honestly. It's like, oh, what, you read books? You go to the library? Get out of here, you jackanape. You jackanape. Okay. Alright. I tried painting some Chaos Space Marines, and honest painting trim is kind of fun. Yeah, it is fun, but I feel like I need to be in a certain mood for it, which is the thing. Like, I appreciate the orcs, because they're, like, big blocky shapes that I can very easily... My ape brain can like, distinguish between the shapes and the muscles of the orcs. All of the tiny little trimming that I have to, like, go back and do 1,000 times of the Chaos Space Marines. It's like... You know what? It's time-consuming. And I've got so many things vying for my time right now. I gotta pay taxes, man. I can't be painting trimming all day. I need to work a job. I gotta pay bills. But yeah, I'm hoping to just, like, inch my way through some of these, like, other orc units that I have. I think the Gretching are really interesting because, like, I don't know, they... Like, the whole point is to have, like, a lot of Gretchen at a time, I think. But they take so long to paint, and they're so easily killed. And they do absolutely no damage. So I'm sort of sitting here going, like, oh, if I have to, like, choose what I need to paint, or, like, choose, you know, like... If I have to make a choice about how I'm going to spend my time and, like, what projects I'm going to work on from a mini-painting perspective, the Grots almost seem like a waste of time. Because it's like, oh, these things can be killed immediately, and do absolutely no damage. But they can scour objective markers for command points, which feels like a very cool tactical option to have, so I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna start painting these bad boys up. I'm gonna get them done, finally. Keyword on finally there. The other army that I want to do is Admech. I mean, if painting trimming is a concern, Admech's probably the second worst one you could go for. I think I was having a chat in a stream the other day. Someone was lamenting that all of his Admech models was like they broke. They snapped off completely. Because they're so, like, small and spindly. It's just like, yeah, this is the most fragile army you can possibly have. And, like, I get it, honestly. I get it. I mean, even having to transport my orcs to, like, my local store, which is, like, a short walk away. You know, if I'm carrying my Death Copters, like, those rotors are coming off. 100%. Alright. Let's see. Huh. Green's not coming out too bad there, I don't think. Getting those water ratios just right. Alright, who else do I have? I've already got a good skin color on you. You ugly bastard. Got this guy here. I don't know why he's not on a base, but... Oh well. Might as well paint him up all the same. Every Skitarii comes equipped with 1 billion little antennae that snap off with the slightest touch, and yet I drop my Magos Dominus down a flight of stairs and it remains completely intact. I mean, that's just how it is, right? Like, it's always the ones you least expect. Like, I would have thought my, like, smaller, you know, weaker orcs would be the ones to snap, but no, it's always the vehicles. It's always the Death Copters. And then again, I guess the rotors of the Death Copters are, like, held together with a fucking prayer, let's be honest. Like, those things are loose. My god. My god. But I gotta say, that has also, like... That also has also changed how I feel, how I, like, think about the models that I want to build. Like, right now, part of me is thinking of investing in a... What's the big orc walker? The Stomper? Because, like, normally I was like, I don't want to touch the Stomper with a 10-foot pole. Like, I don't want it. I think it's ugly. I think it's stupid. But now I'm sort of sitting here thinking to myself, like, okay, if I built the Stomper, that shit would be indestructible. Like, that's not gonna fucking break. Like, that's a plastic brick. You could win a game of Warhammer simply by hurling it at someone's head. You can't knock that bad boy over, is what I'm saying. Also, Stompers appear in Warhammer novels a bunch, and they're always very scary when they do. The worst model is the Skate Trust, though, literally the guy that wobbles. Is that the Stilt guy? Yeah, it's the Stilt guy. What a weird choice of a model to make. I mean, I guess there's... I don't know, I guess it has lore implications, I suppose. Like, sometimes I feel like a lot of these models have, like... I feel like a lot of... what I really like about Warhammer in general is that a lot of the designs of the characters and creatures in the franchise is, like... Like, what I really like about them is that they are toys brought to life. Like, they have been designed to be a, like... model kit that you can purchase, assemble, and paint. And I feel like that's really interesting. Like, other sci-fi and shit like that will probably just be like, yeah, here's a cool-looking robot man. Whereas, like, Warhammer, like the Space Marines and everything, it's like, we have built these so that they can be, like, plastic kits that you can cut out and build. Specifically. God, this guy's so ugly, I hate him. I hate this tiny, wretched man. I love this Stilt boy, though, my awful son who sucks at everything. Yeah, wasn't he also, like, really bad when he came out? Like, I don't pay too much attention to, like, I don't know, the meta or anything like that in terms of gameplay, but I remember when the Stilt guy came out, everyone was like, hey, this is kind of weird. And then everyone started using him in-game, and then it was like, hey, he kind of sucks. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's just... toxic tabletop scuttlebutt, but that was what I took away from it. Hello, YouTube user Quinton Onigiri. I'm doing well. It's a cruisy Saturday, and I've decided to put a dent in my pile of shame and get through some projects that, get through painting some models that I've really been putting off. You know, I want to start finishing up a bunch of, models that I've just had sitting on my shelf for so long. And the Gretching have been sitting there for God knows how long. In fact, I think there's a bunch of Gretching that I don't actually know where they are. I think I might have lost some of them. Which sucks, because you need all 10 Gretching. Like, you can't field just 5 of them. Like, that's not how it works. You can't just have 5 little idiots running around. You need all 10. Because they're tiny and shitty and will die in a single shot. It already looks amazing. Thank you, YouTube user Middle-earth Tenkara. I've simply put on a single coat of green paint. And that's it. If it's already looking good, even in these early steps, that's a win for me. Despite how cool the AdMech are, they're unfortunately a little bit shit. Well, that's a shame. Yeah, I never really understood, like... I think it's really interesting how every army in Warhammer has, like, different mechanics and playstyles and stuff like that. I don't think I've looked really too far into how the AdMech play. Like, all the other armies, I think, have, like, interesting mechanics, like the Oath of Moment for the Space Marines. It's a very sort of, like, generic, all-encompassing one. You know, the high-risk, high-reward playstyle of the Chaos Space Marines and their Dark Pacts. The Orcs having one, like, big ability you can pull out every game. Like, everyone has these really interesting things, and I just haven't looked into the AdMech and what they can do. I know they can use, like, smoke grenades or something. That's one of their abilities. But outside of that, I don't know. Oh god, look at his ugly face. I hate his dumb little face. Get him out of here. I don't know why he doesn't have a base. Oh, god. Shooting at me. And isn't the whole point of the AdMech Stilt Boy just to be like, hey, I'm tall, I can shoot over cover? I don't know whether that's any good or not. You pick a buff for your army at the start of every battle round? Okay, that's kind of interesting. Lets you think on your feet, lets you change up if you need to. Actually, how's this guy looking? Oh, that's just my hand. How's this guy looking? I could probably do another code on him. I did like one code of green like a million billion years ago, and then I just never went back to it. Yeah. But yeah, I know this is the very this is like the very basic steps when it comes to painting, but I just want to get some productive work done. I'll be going out for lunch later, so I can just do whatever. I'm left with that awkward amount of time where it's like, you know, I don't want to start anything too major. Does he have a squeak for a hand? I don't believe so. No, if you look really close, he's got a glove. He's like holding it by the reins. I just haven't painted anything that could like distinguish his bits, I guess is the word that I would use. It's probably not the best word, but it's the one I'm using, so. Yeah, I think so I bought these models ages ago, and so I've gotten a lot better at painting since then. But I think I kind of fucked up the base coat on some of these guys. Because, like, I think I made the base coat really thick. And so I think some of the detail on the models have been a little bit lost. Which is a shame, because I can't really undo that. But that's fine, I'll just get them done. And everyone will look at them from a distance, because they're miniatures on a table, and not something that we're going to be zooming in super close to. At least we shouldn't. It's okay, when I show them off on social media afterwards, I'll just make sure that they're really, really, really far away. What I've seen, the best attachment for AdMech is Zone Core. You just nuke the other player. I mean, that'll do it. The AdMech have been known to use nuclear weapones. Which is ironic, because isn't the whole point of the fucking Death Guard is like, hey, nuke bad. Hey, nuke destroyed our entire world. Hey, nuke gave us Catholic guilt. God, the Deathcore of Krieg is so fucked up. I love them. I ended up reading the Deathcore of Krieg novel on the plane to Canada back from Australia. It was a pretty interesting read. It was like a very classic sort of soldier story. Like, a lot of, you know, a lot of, what you call it? A lot of the Warhammer novels are very, like, far-flung, you know, out there fantasies. But the Krieg novel was very much like, hey, this is a story of war on a planet with people, and, like, different political and ideological factions. And then, like, hey, we use nuclear weapons, and now nobody wins. We're in purgatory until the end of time. Have you seen the new Krieg kits they've shown off? Yes, I have seen the new Krieg kits that they've showed off, and I think they look very juicy. I think I still have, I have one of my... Do I have one of my Kriegsmen here? Yeah, he's just sitting over here, hold on. He's purple. He's fucking purple, dude. Yeah. Maybe I should have gone a little bit darker with my Krieg color scheme, but I like the fact that it's a little bit different. Well, like, I didn't really want to... I sort of wanted to paint... Like, I'm not... Okay. I always knew that I kind of wanted to do Imperial Guard. Like, when I was first looking at the different armies, I figured that was the one that I was going to go for. Because I just like playing regular dudes. You know, you fucking find me in an RPG, my character is just going to be Human Fighter. John Regularman. Regular Johnman. Something like that. But then I sort of got down to the, like, realities of building a Krieg army. And then it was like, oh, actually, you just have to paint the same guy, like, again and again and again and again 1,000 times, and also they're super duper small. And so then I was like, actually, that sounds like too much effort for me. That is too much effort for me. I want to paint funny little green men who are big and cheap in the grand scheme of things. Or at least they have some cheaper models because they haven't been updated in 1 more billion years. Let's see. Let's see if I can just get some of his underarm. I always miss getting, like, the underarms and, like, underneath the chins and, like, getting underneath a lot of the details that I need to do. I have to go out of my way to be like, no, get the armpits. Be an armpit freak. Just this once. Just this once, I say. Now, let's see, who are you? I like the little pirate guy. It's almost perfectly in the little sea there. Alright. Oh. I don't know what you were. We've also got this, like, you know, Space Marines, like, half done. You know what? I think that the... I think that one of the things that's really, like, unmotivated me to... I think one of the things that I found hard with my Chaos Space Marines is that, like, I chose probably the worst one to do first. Because, like, the first Chaos Space Marine for my set that I painted is, like... He's got a lot of annoying details that I don't think look very good in the way that I put the kit together, so now I just cannot motivate myself to finish it. So I'll just paint little fucking goblins instead. Hello, YouTube user Pain Caved. What's poppin'? How we doing? Let's see. Yeah. Okay, there we go. See, I'm really just trying to, like, get through my pile of shame so I can... so I can justify buying more models for Christmas. Oh, it's going. Yeah! Yeah! That's how it be. I get you. But yeah, it's I'm trying to like really make an effort to paint a lot, and I still have a lot of the models that I brought back from Australia, like the non-Warhammer ones. Because like I found a bunch of Warhammer models, not Warhammer models. I found a bunch of like 3D printed models at like a local underground game store. I still have one of them here. Like I'm still. Let's see, I can still work on him while I'm here. Oh, yeah, I gotta get back to him. He's really fun to paint. I'm still working out the details for him. Yeah. Big boy. That's right. I like painting bigger models. Like all of like these tiny little like goblins that I'm painting now are just like I like I'm having fun painting them, but I almost feel like if I was in a bad mood or having a bad day, it would be the worst thing imaginable. Like I feel like these models have the capacity to frustrate me, and that is something that I do not actively want to subject myself to. You know what I mean? Okay. But no, I do like the idea of bringing in, like, I feel like these units would be annoying to fight against. Because they, like, really don't do much. So, like, it's not really worth shooting at them at any point in time. But I guess they could also get up in your face and prevent you from moving across the board. Which almost makes me want to, like, field an entire army of just these little fucking assholes. Because, like, imagine you're trying to, like, storm the battlefield, get command points, get fucking victory points, and win the game. But then you can't fucking move because these things are just, like, getting up in your grill. Because, like chess, you can't step over enemy units. Warhammer. It's just like chess. I fully understand that that is not the case. But yeah, also I just want to get back into the habit of just, like, streaming and stuff again, because I know that's fallen out to the wayside a little bit. It's been a busy couple of months. Like, as we're leading up into Christmas, it's just like, you know, I don't want to say going through it, that's not the right word, but, like, I've got a lot on in terms of work, in terms of life stuff, commitments, immigration, etc., etc. Now I just feel like, you know, whenever I have, like, a spare, you know, couple of minutes or whatever, I'll just throw on a camera, start painting some little dudes. I've been thinking of doing more fashion streams again, but I don't know, do we need to grow out my beard first or get rid of it? I'm currently having the beard debate right now, because it's been growing out for like a month. And so now I feel like I need to make some choices. Am I going to commit to it? Am I going to give up? Just like all those other times in my life. Am I going to see beard life through to the end? Or am I just going to fade into the background? Get these pointy ears. Yeah, I definitely think my beard isn't gonna stay around for the long haul. I don't know, who knows? Change out my water too. Shit's looking murky. I never change out my water, though. Like, that shit'll be, like, black as night before I tip it out. That's bad paint hygiene. Or something like that, I don't know. Oh no, I know I'm getting green all over his gun here, but that's just part of the process. Yes, you're too late. 5 streams too late. What am I talking about? I streamed way more than 5 times, and that's stupid joke. How we doing? Okay, let's see. I gotta get underneath him too, so I gotta like fully flip this guy upside down. Dude, these Grots are jacked. Like, are you seeing this muscle definition right here? This guy lifts. Looks like 3 feet tall. Like 2. What the fuck? Yeah, I'm gonna have to, like, really get in with a fine-tooth brush to, like, get in all these tiny, tiny, tiny details. Oh. There we go. There we are. Yeah, because like the thing about these models is that like, because half of them are all just like one solid chunk of plastic, it's like his body like melds into his gun and his clothes, so it's like, it's really hard to differentiate like what's what half the time. Like what's grot and what's not. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Maybe I should like stick him to glue him to a base. It might help me. Oh well. Alright, there's another layer of clothes down. I mean skin down. I mean green down. Alright, let's see. Okay. Let's move him out of here. Who's the next layer that we gotta do? I think I'm ready to give him a second layer. His first layer's probably dried enough. Let's also work on this guy. I'm doing the grots now. I'm grotting it up. I'm getting grotty. Ew. Ew. I don't like the way that sounds at all. Okay, let's just mix some paint. Ew. Who up grotting it. Ew, gross. Disgusting! Banned. Oh, gotta keep that on camera. In the strip club, straight up grot. Ew. Yucky. If I just put him down here, then you get an aerial view of the grot when I do this. I guess this is almost like the angle they're supposed to be looked at, like, you know, they're supposed to be viewed from the top down on like a war game board, you know. A war game board. By it. God damn it. And grot's such a, like, a nasty word. I hate it. Although I suppose that is kind of the point, huh? Ya bleeding grot. It just sounds like vaguely British insult slang. His hand, like, melds into a ball over here. Oh, it's an older kit. Got in the grill. Let's see. The orcs have Grod. Yeah, everyone's... It's like old One Eye. No? Wait, no. Who's the Imperial Commander who's Yarek's gay bestie? No, Yarek. That's Skazgul's bestie. It's like Yarek with his fucking laser eye. It's the closest thing the Orcs and the Imperials will ever get to friendship. Let's see. Images. I just want to make sure I have nice coverage of the green here. It's like, honestly, they are kind of just like lumps of green thing. Just lumps of green little guy. I think grot is old British slang for someone that didn't shower. I mean, that's probably true. My favorite thing is that, like, every now and again, I've had to, like, Google a word that I've heard in a Warhammer context. And every time I Google a Warhammer word to, like, find its actual definition, Google has told me, like, oh, this word is archaic. Like, it meets the actual, like, clinical definition for archaic language that is not used anymore. And I'm like, ah, yes. This game is stupid. Like, I think the last word I had to Google was, Mournival, or Mournival. Because that's what, like, Horus's inner council was called. And I Googled the definition, and the Google was like, hey, this word is straight up, like, not used anymore. Like, we don't, as a human species, use this word. I think from memory it has something to do with, like, the 4 suits of cards in a card deck, like, clubs, spades, hearts, diamonds. Which is also a good word to know, because I've been playing a lot of Balatro recently. Dude, Balatro's good, though, like... I feel the itch. I constantly find myself saying, hey, I could be playing Balatro right now. When I'm at work, I could be playing Balatro. When I'm sharing a succulent candlelit dinner with my lover, I could be playing Balatro right now. When I'm playing Balatro, I could be playing Balatro somewhere else right now. I have a problem. Please help. There we go. I think that's a good layer of green for now. You, into the corner. I could also do you for a bit. You know what? I painted a bit of green already. Get some red in here. Any insult sounds like something a British person would call you. I mean, listen, all you need to do is say something with enough venom in it, and it sounds like a British insult. You gobbin. You McGregor. You McGorfin. You slit dookie. You know what I mean? All you need to do is just put some twang. And that's it. You need to twang it up. Alright, let's see. What can I do here? What can I do here? I took the heads and arms of the eBay boys and some still cracked in half. I mean, when you're buying models online, sometimes you're gonna get some cracks. Sometimes you're gonna have issues, and that's okay. One day I want to buy a bunch of, like, pre-owned models on the internet, and then, like, you know, dissolve the paint off and try again with my own color scheme. The squig should have something like yellow pustules. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what color I want to go for with the squigs. I mean, I think... yeah, like, I'm painting them red for the time being. I think I'll make some of them pink. Maybe I'll make them pink. No, I've started painting some of them red already. Oh, no, that's way too thin. That's way too thin. There's a head I really want for my Khan proxy, but it's resin. I've been looking into resin minis as of late. But part of me is like, oh, I can't 3D print minis. What if I ever play in, like, a professional tournament someday, and I need to have, like, only official minis at my disposal? And then I'm also like, you idiot, you're not gonna be playing professionally. You kidding me? You're just here to have fun. That's it. Be ever a good time, not a long time. Their flesh, so adding skin tone is a great way to add variety. That is true. Although I know I have the very particular kind of neuroses that's like, if it's not all perfectly uniform and exactly the same, I don't want it. Get out of here. Be gone. Kill them. Yeah. I'm fucking crazy, though, so... don't look to me for being a bastion of righteousness. Okay, it's got like all these little, like, it's got like, I gotta like really cram this brush underneath this little armpit here, because otherwise I'm just not gonna get it. This is a really thin coat of the red. I could probably have gone a little bit thicker with that. Oops! I'm scared of playing the game because of the dreaded rules. I mean, it is a war game, so, like, it is, like, kind of... they're rules heavy, and that is kind of the point. I almost think of it as, like, competitive Dungeons & Dragons. Like, D&D is a fun game that's like, oh yeah, I'm palling around with my friends and telling a story and having a good whimsical time. Also, there's, like, rules and mechanics, but we don't need to think too deeply about that. Warhammer is like PvP D&D. OMG, WTF. Aren't the rules for most things just roll dice, go as many inches as the dice number? I mean, maybe if you're playing Monopoly. With Warhammer, apparently it's a constant string of if this, then that logic. From my understanding, it's just about shouting something like 3 ups, rolling a bunch of d6, then being like, bang. Rogue Trader with a D&D knockoff, so you're not wrong. I'm never wrong. That's the first thing you need to know about me. Khan has very fun rules that unfortunately I don't like his models when proxying him. I mean, that's fair enough. Make it your own. It's Khanon time. I mean, I'm very fortunate that I kind of like the default look and aesthetic for a lot of the Warhammer units. So I don't need to go out of my way to find proxies or anything like that. All these are simple. You get into melee range as fast as possible and then roll dice until everything dies. Hell yeah. That's kind of the orky way to go about it, so... You just run in. Get within melee range. Declare a war. Kill everything and hope you don't die. At least that's my strategy. I mean, in the game that I played last week, it was my goal was kind of just to push up and like go go go. And I did that and I won. So I don't want to hear anyone say anything bad against that strategy. 40 attacks for a single unit of Corn Berserkers. Oh my god. What the fuck? That's a spicy amount of attacks. I mean, orcs are more or less the same. Like, they once they get into the mix, they get, like, what, 3 hits with their choppers? And then they all have sustained hits if they're, you know, of the War Horde detachment. Let's see, let's paint this head. Let's red this head. Redhead Redemption. Okay. Funny thing about Khan, I played a game earlier and him and my Hellboot got into a 1v1 fight and they both died. Hell yeah, that's war, baby! Nobody wins, everyone loses. It's a metaphor for life. It's actually not, because there are very strict rules as to who wins and who loses, and... that is just how it is. Okay, got a little bit of red on his back foot. Give my 40k orc team specific-based fighting game with different specific classes, just like Team Fortress 2. There are there's like a proxy model going around right now, which is literally just like orc fighters in the Team Fortress 2 regalia. It's a Station Forge model. I found where it was sourced from, and I'm just like, hey, if I had access to a 3D printer, which technically I know a couple of people who can help me out with that, I could definitely like buy the models for these Team Fortress 2 orcs and be like, hey, can you print these off for me? But then I need to paint them, and I already have so many other things to paint. I don't need a cheaper, more accessible way to get into Warhammer painting. Like, I already have enough expensive models that I've already bought, but I still need to get to. I'm trying to get through them all. Let's see. Really just getting a nice few layers of red on here. There we go. I'll never stop bringing up the fact that Khan can kill his own bodyguard units. Hell yeah! Chaos, baby! That's stupid. But very on brand. I mean, if you're bodyguarding someone literally called Khan the Betrayer, like, I don't know what you want. What are you expecting? What the hell are you expecting? The Orc Commanders are basically the Team Fortress 2 mercenaries. The Orc Commander, well... I mean, that is true to a degree, actually. There is 10 of them. And this one's the spy. I just bumped my camera, that was awful. Let's see, is there anything else I can paint on this guy? Yeah, I should get in and paint some of his clothes. He's got clothes. Originally, I did have a plan to just paint his entire body green, so that technically he would be running around absolutely naked. But then I decided against that, because that would be too crass. Well, I mean, this unit is the distraction grot, and how more distracting can you be for just being a tiny little guy running around with his wiener out? I don't know about you, but I'd find that pretty distracting. Just saying. Just saying. Just saying. Paint his boots brown so he's not naked. I mean, that's kind of what I'm going for. No, he's going to be wearing a nice brown jumpsuit. Same as the other commandos. I'm actually really proud of my, little orc color scheme that I have going on. It's not anything revolutionary, it's very simple. But I feel like the colors are very pleasing to me. I know it's just brown at the end of the day, but, I don't know. Oh, God. He's got, little wires and tubes from his little grappling gun that I need to move around. There we go. Yeah, these models are so small that I'm really gonna need to, get in and repaint a bunch of details. I can already tell it. I can feel it in me bones. I mean, the official paint job has him in, a leather gimp suit. It's a cat suit, first of all. He's a stealer, not a sex freak. They could never make me hate you, Distraction Grot. They could never make me hate you. Okay. Whoop! Oh, God. Well, he's gone now. Okay. I like the idea that the orcs saw a gimp suit and assumed it was a sneaky guy. I mean... Why do you think they never see him? Huh? These Yumi stealth suits are really something, eh, boys? I don't know. Note to self, do not do orc voice. Hello? YouTube user the secret archives? What's poppin'? What's going on? No. Listen, I feel like one day I might get the 3D printable Team Fortress Orcs. But I feel like I wouldn't know what to do with them. Would they effectively be commandos? I mean, I guess. I guess the commandos is probably the closest. The closest in-game one you could get to. Hello! YouTube user Mighty Tim 98. What's poppin'? I'm more like the idea of Pyro joining the team of the Orc Boys because of his Pyro vision. That would track. That is, how you say, a lore accurate. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna need to clean up some of the green on his shoulders. So I just can't, like, get... Yeah, I'm gonna have to do a bunch of cleanup on this model. Because, like, it's really hard to... It's really hard to, like, get into all the, like, crevices of this tiny little guy. That's fine, that's part of the process. Yeah, like, I'm just gonna... Yeah, just gonna smooth brown on his backpack like that. Look at that. It's the wargaming equivalent of smearing poop. Feels like I'm smearing poop. It's very poop color. Oh, well. Also, it didn't really... None of the base coating really went up to his butt. So I need to, like, get in there. What's your opinion on Necrons as a faction? I love the Necrons. I've never built any Necrons, but I've read 3 of the Necron novels now, and I really enjoy them. I've read, I basically read The Infinite and the Divine, as well as the Twice Dead King series. And they're a really good time. Like, that's always the problem for me. Like, I'll read a Warhammer book, and I'll be like, God damn, I need to spend $500 on new units specifically from this thing that I just read about. I'm doing the same things with 1,000 Suns right now, and it's bad. It's rough. I'm sitting here like, oh, I could... A part of me just wants to buy a Magnus the Red model. I know it's like $200 because he's fucking massive, but like, maybe I want to build and paint Magnus the Red. Have you ever thought about that? Somebody give me $400 to allow me to build and paint Magnus the Red. I don't own any other 1,000 Suns, and likely I'm never going to, because I've already soft made the commitment that if I'm gonna paint Chaos Space Marines, they're gonna be the Emperor's children. If you need a specific wash, you can mix paint, 3 parts water, and some dish soap to help get the surface tension. If I need like a custom wash, I normally use Lamy and Medium. But I would imagine that's a cheaper way to do it, because it's not a fucking official Games Workshop paint. In my ideal future, I can afford Angron. In my ideal future, I can afford a house. But Angron's a good second. I have 1,000 points of Death Guard? Hell yeah! I got 1,000 points of Orcs! Death Guard is pretty cool, though. Part of me is tempted to get the new Kill Team starter set, because it's like a cheap way to get a bunch of like Death Guard and Space Marine models. And a bunch of MDF terrain, but like that's nothing, you know. Know what I'm saying? Nice! Okay, but a house can't kill the guardsmen in one turn. Yes, but it can break the spirit of anybody who plays Warhammer. It's like the equivalent of Kirk Van Houten from fucking Simpsons going like, I sleep in a race car bed. Do you? I sleep in a big bed with my wife. Oh, yeah. A house also can't come back after dying with 4 wounds. That is true. A house burns down and it's a... You gotta, like, do some shit to get it back. Mostly go through insurance, which is hard enough. Alright, let's see if I can just even out these greens. Way too thick! Too thick! Fate faction get the kill team starter set, but all the terrain isn't plastic and detailed. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I feel like like for a starter set, MDF terrain ain't so bad. I mean, the original Kill Team starter set was way better. Like, fucking 12 commando units, 10, like, Death Corps of Krieg guardsmen, and then a bunch of, like, really nice-looking plastic terrain. Like, that was the good shit. I definitely can't help but think that the new Kill Team starter set is definitely, like, a step down from what it used to be. But, I mean, hey, it saves them money and gets them more, you know. You know. Do I like Age of Sigmar 40k more? I'm definitely a 40k guy. YouTube user Way J. Like, I've definitely... Like, I don't actually own any Age of Sigmar units. I was thinking of buying some Uruk Brutes, so I could kit bash them into being some war bosses for my 40k army. But I have heard a lot of good things about Age of Sigmar. Like, I'm not against it by any means. Like, if somebody... Listen, the way that I think about it is that I really enjoy painting. I really enjoy playing the game, but painting is, you know, probably, like, the biggest thing that I find fun and joy in. So if somebody was to, like, buy me an Age of Sigmar starter set, I'd be stoked. Like, I'd love it. You know what I mean? But, like, if I'm gonna sit down and paint something, I'll just be like, yeah, I'll like, buy myself a 40k set because I already have a bunch of other 40k sets, you know? Like, I like them in different ways, but, like, I've started with the investment of, 40k. No doubt I'll get into Age of Sigmar at some point. Maybe when I am financially stable and own a house or something like that. You know what I'm saying? One of my big things next year is that I want the majority of my, like, mini expenses and, like, nerd shit to come out of, like, any ad revenue that I make from YouTube. So, hopefully I make a bunch of videos that blow up and really entertain people, so I can fucking afford to buy 2 Leviathan box sets at the same time. So hyped about the new Krieg set. I really enjoyed the look of that. Like, it definitely feels like the Krieg are gonna be the new sort of Imperial Guard stand-in. I believe you can. Oh, stop. You're gonna make me blush. Don't know why I said it like that, but you know what I mean. But yeah, like, I just want to, like, make some stuff and, you know, joke around and have a good time. And, yeah, if people enjoy that, people like watching that, then great. Splendid news. Okay, let's see. What are we doing here? I think this guy's green enough. Again, the original base coat was a little bit too chunky for my liking, so he's going to be a little bit gritty and a little bit grainy. But maybe that'll all be part of the aesthetic. Maybe it'll really come through with the dry brushing. Gonna need to clean up his gun a little bit, but that's neither here nor there. Look at you, you pirate fuck. Where's my greens? I need to re-up. But yeah, maybe I'll... I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna want to, like, devote more time to making stuff next year. I've sort of slowed down over the last couple of weeks, but I'm telling myself that, like, you know what, we're getting into the end of the year. I'm doing a lot of, like, holiday and Christmas things and planning and preparation and everything like that. I just haven't had the time to make as many shorts or videos or anything like that before. So I'm just telling myself that, you know what, it's Christmas, the holidays are coming, you're gonna have more time, it's gonna be great. Just relax while you can, and do things that are, like, chill, low stakes, etc., etc. Which is what I'm trying to do. Coming up to a point where I have to make a difficult decision between buying Warhammer or HRT. Well, I think you know the answer that needs to happen. Deep down, I'm sure you do. Which one is going to provide you with more long-lasting happiness? Actually, I suppose that's entirely subjective. Okay, alright. Absolutely cannot see what I'm doing. What would I say my favorite faction is? I like the Orcs. Would I say that they're my favorites? In terms of like gameplay and fun, I'd probably say that the Orcs are really good. But like I do really enjoy the Horus Heresy novels. So I mean, the Space Marines are kind of like the default choice for this fucking game, but they just got so much like they just got so much going for them. But no, I would say my favorite faction is the Orcs, but I'm not jumping out of my seat to you know, read every Orc book in existence. Although I guess the Horus Heresy is kind of like I feel like it's kind of like divorced from a lot of the things in 40k, because it is before 40k. It's like the prequel series. It's like the Revenge of the Sith of Warhammer. But yeah, Orcs is definitely my favorite. On one hand, something that can actually improve my life and make me happy. On the other hand, world leaders. Well, it sounds like you've made the decision, man. Alright. Let's see. Alright, I think I'm gonna take a break there. It's just gonna be a pretty quick one today. I'm going out for lunch because it was my anniversary very recently. So that's gonna be a good lot of fun. But yeah, got some base coats down on some of these Grots. And yeah, I want to do more like quick little streams like this just while I have some spare time, you know, like throw on a camera, get some painting done, just figure it out from there. But yeah, just a quick one today. Hope you guys have fun watching and have a wonderful rest of your Saturday. You are loved. You are cherished. Don't ever forget that. Don't ever forget that. Ah.